How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. I am happy to have you guys here with us tonight as we begin the week. We begin the week of live streams once again. Still trying to get that new phrasing going. But this is your nightly nerdy talk show where I guess if you want to by now. I said hopefully by now. You afford yourself just a little bit of
specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
as we like I said, roll into the week. I'm on water today. I won't be able to do it every single day. But of course, happy to have you guys here with me tonight. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chats for one another. Plug yo shits. I am actually streaming for the first time on TikTok as well. So I have my phone next to the camera. I've never live streamed on TikTok before. I don't know if we'll get a lot of people here. They can't hear the music or the sound effects. So we'll see if they end up liking it. And if you are watching on TikTok, come on down to YouTube, come on down to Twitch, come on down to Facebook. Much better experience, I promise you. But we have a lot to talk about, so without further ado, bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. Unfortunately, once again, I am the problem. It is me. So happy to see you guys here today. Like I said, busy weekend. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of news dropped this weekend. So we'll talk about some of that today. Of course, if there's stuff that you guys want to talk about, put it down below in the chat. Like I said, if you're on TikTok right now, I see some people jumping in. If you're on TikTok, I suggest come on down to either YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, because that way, as you chat, I can share it on the screen. It's a little bit more interactive on the other platforms. But at some point, maybe I'll figure out a way to integrate the two chats together of Twitch TikTok and everything else. So we'll see. But of course, getting shameless plugs out the way, let's head over to Nerd Affiliated on Instagram. There you could find the latest and greatest from us as far as memes goes, as far as news goes, and apparently reactions in real time over there on Instagram. And then, of course, we have the website, nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things Nerd Affiliated, including new merch, as Tony pointed out. So make sure you guys hit up Nerd Affiliated over there on the interwebs, all that fun stuff. I'm even more distracted now because now I have to look at not just you guys on my screen here, but I have to look at everybody here on TikTok as well. As people join, Bernice Castro, Tavaro, Tyla, T, whole bunch of people. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. I told you guys that are watching on the other stuff last week. I don't know how the experience is with watching on, or I don't understand the experience of watching it on like an Instagram live or like on a TikTok, because you kind of get stuck and you can't do other things. So if you guys prefer it, I'll keep doing it on these platforms. But like I said, Facebook, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. So feel free to jump on over. Again, I'm getting distracted, so I'm gonna try my best. To stay the course, to stay stay the course. I might have to have a drink after all. Tony in the house. Good to see you. Love the hoodie. Thank you so much. Rolando in the house. Good to see you. There you go. Ultra Carta in the house too. Good to see you. One thing I did not check out this weekend actually was WrestleMania. So why don't you guys let me know how WrestleMania was? I know a lot of the results of WrestleMania, but I feel like WrestleMania didn't have that. How do you say that phrase? Finesse quoi? It wasn't that they didn't have that energy going into it. I feel like the Roman news was like a bigger deal than like Roman actually like even doing a match. I don't know. I wasn't feeling WrestleMania this year. And also it's like 7 hours a day, twice in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's becoming a bit much. So I skipped WrestleMania. Oh, I can like, what is it telling me on TikTok? I can swipe stuff. What is it? Oh, I can pull up the chat. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think that. All right. Like I said, I'm learning. But yeah, I did not check out WrestleMania. Let me know what you guys thought of WrestleMania. Rick James in the house. Dave's Dimension. Good to see you. It was meh. Yeah, I thought WrestleMania would be meh. There's also just way too many belts right now. There's just way too many belts. Hang on, let me swipe this thing again. That's like annoying me. Interesting. Okay. Got it. Like I said, I've never streamed on TikTok, so I don't know. Can one of you guys log into TikTok and just see like what's the experience? Let me know. Because I feel like because I'm using the mic on my iPhone, so I'm not even using like my good mic. So I don't think it's even a good experience. But you guys can tell me. Joe Hendry, how do you say? Is it Hendry? Did I say his name? He showed up. Yeah, I saw that. Even if I was watching in real time, I wouldn't have popped for that one. I'm not the biggest fan of his, not because I don't like him. I just don't watch him wrestle. And was it TNA he's in? So if he showed up, I wouldn't have been all excited. And I would have known that there's no way he's going to win. He's not going to stay. So there's that. The women's matches were more entertaining. That seems to be the thing this year. Seems to be the thing. Tony says, yeah, not the best show. Yeah. Ultra Carter says 41 is a bag of disappointment for me. Dave, as I am, let down with no women's mid-card titles. SmackDown's WWE Tag Team Championship match and the ending of the main event night 2. Oh, you're saying except for those things. Got it. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, there's too many belts over there at the moment. Like, sorry, my camera keeps losing focus. Let me fix that. All right, I think it'll be better now. But now it's like glitchy. I don't know. I feel like computer's not happy today. There's too many belts. United States Championship, Intercontinental, Heavyweight, World. Then there's tag for SmackDown. There's tag for Raw. Like it's just too many titles. As a casual wrestling fan, like I don't. There's no way I can keep up. No way I can keep up. So I'm there for the big events, as I've said before, but this one, going into it, I wasn't feeling it. Don't forget, of course, if you guys are watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, so that way when I go live, you guys know in real time. All right, let's start covering some topics. I'm going to lead off with one that I was actually wrong on. I was wrong on this. I made a prediction. I was wrong. But I'm so happy I was wrong. And I may have even said that last week when I mentioned it. So first thing we'll talk about is box office recap, and we're starting off with Sinners. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Like, I think my prediction, if I remember on last week's show, was 35 mil domestic. Ended up pulling in 48 mil domestic on a budget of, I think we're at 90 is the rumor. And traditionally we have a drop off from week one to week 2, but maybe this is one where we're not going to have that crazy of a drop off, and I'm here for it. Just to show you guys my score, once again, was 5 out of 5 on Sinners. I'm not going to talk spoilers with Sinners. I'm going to talk spoilers most likely with Last of Us because it's been 48 hours, and I feel like if you're into Last of Us, you're probably already watching it. Sinners, it's in theater only. Takes a while to get to that, so I'll hold off on spoilers for Sinners, but Last of Us, I'll talk some spoilers later on. So I went to see Sinners. I'll talk to you about the experience. Last week on the show, we went in. It's crazy how many people like jump in and out. I'm getting distracted by TikTok right now. Hello to all of you who are watching on TikTok. So I went into Sinners, and when we were talking on Saturday morning before I went, and on Thursday, actually on our live show, I mentioned how ticket sales were not doing crazy. Like the pre-sale stuff was not doing crazy. And it wasn't out of the norm for a non like franchise movie. So I knew that when I went to it Saturday morning, actually it was a noon show, I knew it wasn't going to be full, which was fine. I prefer it that way for my for my own enjoyment. But because of that, I was like, all right, there's probably not going to be that much hype for this. And that's why I made my prediction for 35 mil. So, despite the big media push that we saw, which we were even talking about, how this is getting a crazy push marketing wise. So despite all that, it seemed like ticket sales weren't doing that great as of Saturday morning. So I go in, sit down, I watch the movie, and it was like maybe 5 minutes into the movie. Again, no spoilers. It was like 5 minutes into the movie, and I just had like the biggest smile on my face. I just like watching Sinners begin, and the opening sequences just roll. I just like, you're just in film. Like you are in film. It you could see the passion, you could see the love, you could see the work that was put into it. And the first time you see Michael B. Jordan on screen with himself, I was kind of like, all right, it does seem very CGI-ish. I mean, obviously it is, but it seems very CGI-ish. And it seemed like they were doing things to show you like, hey, we're going to make this really realistic. That took me out of Sinners for like 2 minutes. The first time you see Michael B. on screen. Once you get past that, the movie proceeds, and it is amazing. The movie is amazing. There are many obvious callbacks to other movies in this movie as you're watching it. One of the ones that I immediately recognized that I did not call out at all, and I won't call it out now, I think is a spoiler to the plot of the movie and people calling it out. And I think that's why they even didn't say it as much when you saw interviews and whatnot about the movie. But as the movie rolls on, the music's playing, characters are being introduced, then the chaos kind of starts. You just get sucked in. You just get sucked into this world. And it was great. It was absolutely great. I left Sinners, and in my truck, recorded my review, dropped it on here, and ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 verbally. I gave it a verbal 4 out of 5. I felt like I can't give it a perfect, like we rarely do that, but I gave it a 4 out of 5. Then the night rolls on. I'm thinking about the movie. It's just in there. It's in my brain. It's rolling. Sunday rolls around. Now, Sinners, like spoilers, are working their way into my algorithm. They're on Threads. They're on TikTok as far as memes go. And then Straw Hat Goofy, who was able to interview Ryan Coogler on his podcast, he was dropping his like reactions to various TikTok videos. And like, oh, you thought this was happening? It turns out this actually meant that. This meant that. And I was like, wow, over the head. Right over the head. And as people kept saying all the various like um all the various like symbolisms in the movie, I had to move it to a 5 because I was like, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. It was crazy. It was crazy. And one of them that I wish I could talk about, and I wish I could talk spoilers about Sinners, but I want to give you guys a chance. Um, was like in a way classic Ryan Coogler. It really was. It really was. You start rooting for the bad guy, and again, I'm not going to spoil it, but Sinners and Ryan Coogler. To me, that's Ryan Coogler's mo. He throws in villains that are villains on paper. They are villains as far as like looking at the script. Villains in the sense that a movie needs to have a good guy and a bad guy. Hero, antagonist, all that stuff. But then you're like, but are they bad? Are they really a villain? That's where the movie takes you. That's where the movie takes you. So because of that, I had to move it to 5. I had to go up to a 5 out of 5. Because I've been thinking about that movie since I saw it, and I can't wait to see it again. I will give you guys a disclaimer. If you go see Sinners, you need to see it in IMAX or like, was it 35 millimeter was the one, but then 70 millimeters, like his preferred method to show it. I kept saying 77 the other day. It's 70. If you can, go see it in 70. But at the very least, go see it in IMAX because he changes up aspect ratios in the movie based on things that are happening, and it works out very well. I actually really enjoyed that. Again, from a film fan perspective. So definitely check out Sinners. Can't say it enough. I think it's going to have a strong second weekend as well. I think momentum's going to build on this. And that part we did talk about last week. So going over to the spreadsheet, we were looking at movies that had low openings over the last year. And that movie was, wow, I didn't realize that was 2024. What was the one we were talking about again? It was it like a kids movie, I think. I can't remember right now. Yeah, for some reason I'm not remembering what movie it was, but there was some kids movie we were watching. I think even Lion King had a low open, and then it just like demolished after that. Anyway, I think it's gonna have a good second week, and I encourage all of you to watch it. If you've got a great TV, and here's the thing, I'm being extremely biased. I'm not even gonna bullshit you right now. I am being biased in terms of this movie because I am such a fan of Ryan Coogler and I am such a fan of Michael B. Jordan. But if you did want to wait till it was at home, I understand. That's how I feel about most movies. I'm acknowledging my bias here. I want the movie to succeed. I want Ryan to get another crack at another movie, same genre, same world, all that stuff. And if you see the movie, there's a mid-credit and a post-credit. So make sure you sit through it. I saw a lot of people leave. I felt bad. Oh, it's right there in front of my face. Mufasa, 35 mil open, but then total domestic was 254. So there you go. There you go. Again, shout out to all of you on TikTok that are watching. Come over to YouTube, come over to Twitch. You'll definitely get better sound. I'll tell you that. So Tony wrote, you get sucked into the universe the way they created, and everything else falls away for you. Yeah. Full around the characters. One of the best films of the year for me. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you saw it too. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I think you did tell me you were going to see that. It's great. It's great. I was thinking too how it kind of sucks that, there's so many good films out there that people just probably don't see because you don't have the star power. Like Ryan has put in that work to have his own recognition, but he's also put in that work that, and him and Michael B. Jordan, they've been tied at the hip since Ryan started. Having that name, being able to pull in Haley in there, I just wonder how many movies out there, it put that into perspective. Like how many movies out there don't get any recognition, don't blow up. They could be good quality like that, So go see it. No spoilers. And I plan on seeing it again. In theaters, probably not. But maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I'll update the numbers here. Actually, I'll just do it right now. Move this over. Let's do an update. Move that out the way. So it was in 3,308 theaters. Pulled in 48,007,468. Right now, total domestic is up to, just copy paste, 55 mil. We'll say 56 mil. International is at 15.5. Yep, bring it to 71. We said it. The budget was 90. Rule of 2, 180. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is way higher than a rule of 2 scenario. I would not be surprised if the marketing on Sinners was 3, because they really pushed the shit out of that movie. Minecraft, just to get that one up. There we go. Yeah. Minecraft has just passed Captain America. Oh no. Minecraft passed Mufasa, which is technically last year. All right, so Minecraft, number 1 movie of the year so far, box office wise. Crazy. Oh, sorry, I kicked you guys. I kicked the monopod. Tony said do a spoiler talk about it. Maybe I'll do it at the end. Patrick in the house, good to see you. My Threads timeline is only Sinners. Yeah. I'm gonna run it back with the misses and the homie. Oh, so you saw it too. Great. I'm thinking 3.5, depending on what's coming out next though. Are you talking about 3.5 like your rating? Or the multiplier for marketing? Ultra Carter said, I would rather watch Minecraft movie more than the god awful Snow White movie, in which I'm glad is bombing at the box office. Like I said, I've really been coming across as like a Disney show lately, and I'm not. I promise you. But Snow White bombing is not creating that much concern at Disney. I don't know that to be 100% accurate, but I can tell you that a company that has had so many wins in the last year having one bomb, even though it cost them a lot of money in our eyes, that one bomb is not changing this. It's not going to change the game for them. So multiplier. Okay, cool. Cool. Maybe I'll talk spoilers at the end. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do a spoiler talk for Sinners at the end. I'll do the thing with the glasses again. I'll put them on when I'm talking spoilers. But the other one I have to talk about. I gotta talk about Last of Us. I gave 2 5 out of 5s in one weekend. Tony gave 4.5 out of 5 for Sinners, and I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with somebody giving Sinners a 3.5 out of 5, to be honest. Like I could nitpick the crap out of that movie. I'm okay with it with if somebody was like, oh yeah, it's a 3.5. I would disagree with it, but it's, I could see it. You're probably gonna see a lot of that range, that 4 to 4.5. There's probably gonna be a lot of that. 8 out of 10. But I think either way, it's got to be movie of the year so far. Patrick said, I'm an episode behind on Last of Us, but I also played the game and it follows close. All right. So we're gonna do spoiler talk on Last of Us. Okay. So I'm gonna put on the official spoiler glasses. So when the glasses appear, you guys know it's spoiler time. It's not Miller time. It's spoiler time. All right. The Last of Us episode 2, season 2. I've seen it twice now. I watched it solo dolo, and then I watched it with the missus last night. My score maintains 5 out of 5. It maintains. Sal in the group, he even said it. One of the best episodes in TV. Easily. Now, my wife loves to be on her phone while we're watching TV, so I wonder if that affected her experience. She wasn't as as I was. But I think we can universally agree that IGN giving it a 6 out of 10 is the most BS thing I've ever seen them do. I mean, they said Last Jedi was one of the best Star Wars movies ever, which was crazy. And to me, that was the beginning of their downfall in my eyes. But saying that Last of Us episode 2 was a 6 out of 10 is wild. Now, again, talking spoilers about Last of Us. So, to Patrick's point, I also played the game briefly. I didn't go that far in the game. I ended up watching the cinematics of the game. One of the things I like to do is watch cinematics while I'm doing other things. That way I can see what happens in a game. Most games over the last couple of years, storylines are better than what we're getting in movies. So I've done that quite a bit. Last of Us Part 2 was one of the ones I watched the cinematics on. Just like season 1, I knew exactly where we were going. Right? One of the questions that we had about this season was, are they going to do what they did the first time, which is the entire game is the season, or are they going to try to split it up? And one of the main things is that Pedro Pascal, the star, continues to burn bright. So are they really going to try to off him like they do in the game? Or are they going to mix it up? Now, the show has taken some creative liberties with things, right? So even that battle that happened at I'll call it a fort, we didn't get that in the game. I don't think we got it at all, if I remember. I'm actually forgetting now. But there was definitely more played out than in the game, easily. So because they're doing little changes like that, going into the Abby interaction, I actually questioned whether they would follow the game or change it up. It actually crossed my mind. And for that reason, I then had tension build as I was watching it because I knew what was supposed to happen, but was it going to happen? And was it going to um, be different? Would they change anything? And it turns out they did. It turns out they did, but they didn't change anything too crazy. The result was the same, and that was wild. That was wild. So I loved it. It was amazing writing. The action played out great. I think if I'm to complain about anything about episode 2, it's that the zombie horde, I mean, they're not really zombies, but the horde, um, just being in them being just like buried in the snow like that was kind of weird. Like, how did that large of an army amass and they not notice it when the springtime was there? Because I assume that horde must have got there in the spring or at least the fall. So I just thought that part was weird, but aside from that, it was great. It was great. So now we're gonna essentially we know what happened. Okay, glasses are off. Spoiler talk is done. I want to talk about the video I made yesterday. The complaints about this show. The complaints about Abby in this show. I have complained about many things. I've complained about many shows. I've complained about many movies. It's part of the shtick. But the complaint about Abby's physique in Last of Us really blows my mind. It really blows my mind. Actually, you know, I'm going to look this up without sharing the screen just in case a spoiler were to pop up. Last of Us game part 2. Da, da, da. Yeah, so there's a lot of comparisons. So I don't necessarily want you guys to see all that. Just in case. Da, 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 da. Here we go. I'm like right now I'm just scrolling to see if there's any spoiler here. No spoilers so far. Okay. Okay, so I can show this. Looking out for you guys. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but people didn't like Last of Us Part 2 from an optics perspective. They saw Abby in the game and they went nuts. Our good friend Ryan here, just as per usual, was like, the game's trash. The game's absolutely trash. And the game comes out, people start playing the game. What happens in the game. And I feel like those that were haters of the game kind of just were like, they checked out, didn't really matter at that point. So what's crazy is the show is now getting hate once again, but like for the reverse of what happened the first time. Where now it's like, well, Abby was so jacked in the game, they complained, called it woke because they're like, oh, lesbian, whatever. That now that we're getting somebody that's smaller, and it probably makes more sense that you wouldn't be that nutritioned during an apocalypse. People are complaining once again. They're complaining once again. Now, what I currently like about what's happening in the show, as far as these two characters go, is if the two of them fight, it's believable to me. It will be believable to me. if Abby were to roll up like in the game, considering that Ellie is who Ellie is at the moment, size wise, looks wise, I wouldn't believe you. I would believe no chance that Ellie would stand a chance against Abby when they eventually were to fight. So I actually appreciate the fact that they changed that part of the game. Now, one of the complaints that I was like, okay, I'll see you potentially on that is Abby, after what happened, because of the results of the first game, Abby trained for years so that when she ran into Joel, she would be able to fight him. I see that. Abby being able to fight Ellie in the first interaction because she's so much bigger, stronger, all that stuff. I hear you. Those 2 points are maybe the only ones that I'm like, maybe I can give you that because you could say it affects Abby's story. But I feel like most of the hate's coming from people who didn't even like the game to begin with. And they're just complaining because there's something to complain about. Thought it was great. I don't want to put the glasses back on, so I'm not going to talk anymore about other changes they made to part 2, episode 2. But it was still great. It was great TV. Great TV. So if you're behind on Last of Us, I'm not talking the spoilers now. We finished that spoiler conversation. It was very small, very short. But definitely watch it if you haven't started. Talking about that. You're behind. Glasses on and the lights dim during spoilers. Yeah. I start doing that. Turn the lights down. Last of Us people either mad at the game being the game or the show not being the game. Yeah. You're like, here's the thing. If you were truly a fan of the first season, there's no way you can be mad now because the first season also made creative changes to things in the story. So like, why would those changes be okay? The changes here not be okay? Unless you secretly do like the show, but you're making content saying you hate the show because you're going to get views from it. It's the only thing I could think of. It's the only thing I could think of. Because otherwise I don't understand people watching the show being like it sucks. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all. But definitely watch it. Definitely watch it. Did you guys see this thing? Did you guys see the McFarlane Bruce Wayne Build-A-Figure? Hang on. Let's look for that. I try to give Todd a break here and there. And sometimes he just does things. I'm like, how did that get approved? How on earth did that get approved? So we have this latest Batman Build-A-Figure wave from the animated series. And the Build-A-Figure is actually Bruce Wayne. Suited Bruce Wayne. We've not had a suited Bruce Wayne, I don't think, ever. So I was actually like, that's kind of cool. That's a great Build-A-Figure. And it's all characters that if you do have a Batman animated series display, you kind of need them. But you might already have Bane and you might already have the android Batman. So that part I was like, that's kind of an a-hole move, but I'll let it slide. And from a distance, does Bruce Wayne look not too bad? But notice the angle too. You're seeing just the regular side. You're not seeing the cell shaded side. Because then you could look and you'll see it there on the pants, there on the pants, there on the sleeve. It looks awful. It looks awful. The face is all right. The face is okay from this angle. Not so much there. it's the the cell shading, the boxiness, cool accessory though. Yeah, not about it. Not about it. It's such an odd shape. It is such an odd shape. I every time I think Todd McFarlane is able to make a comeback with action figures, stuff like this comes out, and I'm like, nah. Keep the foot on the throat. Keep the foot on the throat. And I mean, the license is done with him anyway, so it is what it is. Now, I did actually unbox something last week from McFarlane. Everybody was talking about it. I unboxed it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I took some pictures. I put it online. But I did what I normally do, which is if I do get a figure, because I buy so few figures these days, if I buy a figure, my whole thing now is I'll leave it on my desk. If I mess with it, I mess with it. If I don't, I don't. But at least I'm going to give it a try. Pose it a bit, different stances, take a couple extra photos. And that was the digital series Superman figure that I found the other day. I hated it when I unboxed it. Now I like it. I gotta admit, now I actually like it. Between posing of the cape, between getting into cool poses, he has a lot of bend. A lot of bend. The joints are quite noisy. You heard that. But they hold position. They do hold position. So I've actually turned around on this one. I have actually turned around on this figure. I am actually enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I think that the face sculpt is kind of lame. See if I can get to focus on that. There you go. I think the face sculpt's kind of lame. He's trying to be like angry / stoic. It doesn't quite work. But the paint scheme, the wired cape, I gotta admit, I've turned around on this figure. I've turned around on it. Enough to turn around on McFarlane? No, not at all. I just realized that the trunk's ripped from posing it. Points docked. Points docked. But it's still fun. It's terrible that it has pins still. So he gets points, he loses points. That's McFarlane. That's McFarlane. You wish it was bigger. You're talking about the Bruce. I just need Todd to get the face artist to work a bit harder, but they've gotten better, I think. I mean, the McFarlane figure that I was really surprised by how much I liked it was the armored Batfleck. That one actually was really good. The paint even seemed good. On a lot of these, I don't like the texture of the paint. It feels odd. They're doing McFarlane Toy Week. April 27th through May 3rd, so next week. Give me a break. So I don't know. This one looks good, but again, the cell shading just ruins it. It just ruins it. If you guys and gals are over on TikTok, if you have the chance, if you head over to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, you'll be able to see the screen. I'm showing things. Yeah. What I did not like at all was the reveal of Superman from the movie. I appreciate him trying with the textures and stuff, but it just doesn't look good. And who knows? Maybe that ends up being my review of the suit. You know, when the movie's finally done, seeing it and on the screen, maybe I end up not liking the Superman suit. I don't know. But I also heard this thing was $37, the one that comes with crypto. So not a fan of that. And is that a plastic cape? It looks like it might be a plasticky cape. No, it's wired in this picture. All right. No, it's a statue. Cloth. All right. Wired cloth. Good. Oh, yeah. Soft goods cape. All right. Great. All right. At least he has that. But terrible. The suited bodies are just not his thing. Cell shading and suited bodies, not McFarlane's thing. Not at all. Not at all. All right, heading back over to the page. I think we covered everything. Because really, I mean, the weekend was really Sinners and Last of Us. That's where we were at. Let me just take one more peruse of the internet before we wrap today's episode. Just make sure I didn't miss any topics. I know that Elder Scrolls Remaster came out today. Sal was very excited about it. I never got into it back on the original Xbox. Well, no, that would have been what, 360? The Elder Scrolls game. So I didn't get into it, so the remaster didn't really do it for me. Andor's getting high reviews online. We'll have to see. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. On a sad note, this is pretty depressing, so apologies in advance. There's no Daredevil tonight, which sucks. Daredevil's over. It was fun while it lasted. Right now we have Last of Us to look forward to. Nothing else is really creeping up that I'm excited for. I do have to go back and watch Reacher. Still haven't started the latest season of Reacher, and still need to go back and watch the final season of Invincible, but I didn't finish the previous season, so I'll have those two to catch up on. If I can stop watching news for all of 10 minutes, that would be great. But yeah, there you go. Good weekend of TV, good weekend of movies. Those two set the bar for the year. You know, when it comes to TV shows of the year, you're gonna have to beat Last of Us. To me, right now, Last of Us is beating out Daredevil. I don't think that's a controversial take, but we have to wait for it to play out. And I believe that Sinners is movie of the year so far. And I think the only thing that maybe would beat Sinners from a nerd perspective is Thunderbolts, but that's gonna be a stretch. That's gonna be a stretch. Again, you have an original movie versus a franchise release, and I mean it's not the same thing anyway, you know. But as far as theater experience goes, maybe Thunderbolts could do it, but I highly doubt it. It's just two different things. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for listening. Those of you watching on the replay, of course, I appreciate you guys listening. Those of you who stopped by on TikTok, I really appreciate it. I see like all sorts of like weird icons. I don't know what any of them mean. Like, I don't know if I'm doing anything wrong. I know we got a new follow from there, so welcome. I think Nathaniel was watching the whole time. So thank you. I gotta learn how to use the TikToks when it comes to live streaming, because I've definitely been enjoying posting on TikTok. Oh, we had a couple new followers. All right, awesome. So I wish there was a way I could like integrate the TikTok group with this. I know you can do it on Streamlabs. I think you can do it in OBS, but I use Ecamm, and at the moment we cannot integrate TikTok here. So, you know, hopefully at some point we can do that. But I encourage all of you who are watching on TikTok to come over to one of the other platforms. To me, it's even better. Sent TikTok universe to happy. I don't know what that means. I'm seeing all these things. Seeing all these things. I don't know what they mean on TikTok. I'll have to look it up. K-Walk Comedy in the house. Good to see you. Sorry I'm late. I'll catch replay. Awesome. Tony, don't worry. You got dinner. Nice. I was snacking all day, so I don't think I'll have to eat dinner. And one last check on here. And I think we are... Oh, the Thunderbolts premiere is happening right now. Pedro Pascal was there before, too. I don't think we've had early... I don't think we've had early reactions yet to Thunderbolts. You don't see pictures anywhere else either. Also, happy birthday to Jack Nicholson. What was it? 88, I think he is today. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, that's it. We talked about WrestleMania. We talked about all that stuff. So we can wrap today's episode. It's premiering in London, I think, where everything premieres. There's literally I feels like zero premieres in the States anymore. They just promote everywhere else. And you're in the movie industry. LA is expensive, so that people aren't really doing premieres out there either. So I guess it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow to do another stream. Of course, the flagship HeyArcher Live of the week is always on Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But we're doing these 4-day-a-week afternoon, evening streams, which are fun. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you can, make sure you guys subscribe if you've not already done it. If you're on TikTok, make sure you hit follow if you've not already done it. And hit the bell to get notified so that when I do go live, if I have to shift times, you're able to join. Like, comment, subscribe, talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, vodka, whiskey, and more. beer.
Yeah, come on, push your button. Push the goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.